Yo, like, what is your problem? Bro, what's your problem, bro? You ever, care about what other people think? You ever feel worried about what other people are thinking about you, if they're judging you? Guess what? That's a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be you. Actually, you can change the way you see it. You can change the way you think. You ever see someone and be like, wow, how do they not care what anyone else thinks? How do they be so brave and outgoing and not care? It's because they don't, or at least they choose not to. Let me explain to you something. In this life, there are billions of people. In this life, you will like certain people, you will not like certain people. This is true, yes or no? Okay, so out of all these billions of people, do you expect every single one of them to 100% just be in love with you and like you? No, of course, there are just going to be some people who we don't like for some reason. I don't know, right? It's the same way you like certain music, you like certain artists. Other people you don't feel as attracted to. It's not personal. Actually, it's kind of good that we all don't like the same thing. It's beautiful. Hello. And so if you're expecting everyone in this world to be like, oh yes, perfect human being. Oh, I love this person. Blah blah blah. What are we talking about here, bro? Now, if you feel like the pressure or the judgment of why is this person judging me? Blah blah blah. Let me explain to you something. If someone else is judging you and they feel some type of way about it, that is their problem. But if someone else is judging you and you feel some type of way about it, that is your problem. Do you understand the difference? Okay, if someone is judging you, that's their own problem, right? The fact that they're doing that, you don't have to carry the weight of someone being obnoxious or annoying or being judgmental towards other people. That is not your burden to carry. But the burden comes is if you care what they think. Now you're giving their judgment power. Don't let them have power over you. So why would this even happen in the first place? Well, a lot of time, the reason why people care about what other people think about them, or if they're judging them about certain things, it's things that they themselves are insecure about. If you're insecure about the way you look, guess what? If someone judges you on that, you're going to feel bad about it. You're going to feel insecure about it. Why? Because it's a reflection of how you feel. If it was something you care about, if someone said something about your character, you're a good or bad person, and you are a good person, whatever, and the way that you act and the way you treat people, it's not going to hit because you don't feel like that towards yourself. You don't feel insecure about that. And so if you ever feel that pressure or that insecurity of someone judging you about something, that is something telling you hey, why don't we look at this? Why are we insecure here? Why do we feel this certain way? Because I think that opens the door. It gives an opportunity for us to be able to say, how can I love myself more? You understand? Oh, if I feel insecure about this, why don't I look at this? Why don't I take the time to say, oh, maybe that's not real. Maybe I should be more kind to the way I think about myself. If you're insecure about the way you look, maybe you should, take some time hey, maybe that's not okay to think that. Maybe I should be thinking better. Maybe I should appreciate myself. Maybe I'm really good looking. Maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that. And just change the way we think and believe and feel about ourselves. And so once you realize it is not your responsibility, it is not your burden if anyone else is judging you, that's their own problem, immediately you eliminate so much trouble of caring what other people think. All right? You set that as your baseline, you realize, oh, that's not my problem. boom, immediately you clear out so much space. And if you ever feel that feeling of caring what they think, guess what? That's just light work. That's just healing, bro. You turn that poison, you alchemize it into healing, into medicine. Okay? That's how we work here. We turn that darkness into light. We don't let it affect us. You understand? Someone throws shade at us. Guess what? What is shade to the light? If you're that light bulb, if you're the sun, you know what I'm saying? That shade is nothing. It's going to bounce right off you. Actually, your light is going to envelop it. You understand? And so when you realize also like a lot of the insecurities that people have about themselves and like the fear that people have, like let's say you have a fear or an insecurity. You caring what other people think is actually just a reflection of what you think about yourself. Okay? It's true. And if you just have people throwing shit at you, throwing rocks at you, and you don't care, but you wonder why it happens, it's actually because of those people. If it's not landing, if it's not affecting you, that is 100% a reflection of that person and how they feel about themselves. It's projecting. It's because that person's not happy, right? And so now you see the kind of different perspectives of how this can land. When it affects you, when it doesn't affect you, when it's about you, when it's about the other person, when it's about both. Do you understand? So it shouldn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. It should only matter how you think about you. Seriously, 100%. And that's some things that people won't tell you is like, there's so many people out there trying to uphold expectations of other people. And, we're brought into this world trying to meet certain expectations, even the whole schooling system, right? Meeting the expectations of all the elders, all the adults, even the system, the educational system, right? Because if we don't meet those standards, we don't meet those expectations, like we get like punished in a way. But the thing is, once you get out of school, you're just a human being in your life, you realize like, whoa, that's not real. Like, that's just ideas, thoughts. That's not even, like, that's just a way we've been manipulated in a sense to be a certain way. But the truth is, there's no proper way of being. There's no right way of being. Just be yourself, I think like a lot of people just get caught up in thinking, and they spend their lives thinking more than they spend it living. You know what I'm saying? So take the time just to be like, actually live, be here, be present, enjoy life. Not just caught up thinking, what am I going to do next? Oh, did I make the right decision? What should I do right now? Blah, blah, blah. Because the thinking doesn't get you anywhere. You're always here, even if you're thinking. That thinking's always happening here. And I understand what it is like to be not in that state of being and living, but be in the state of thinking, just as life kind of passes. And, I've been able in my life to really separate myself from that and be able to connect just to living. I think that when we stop thinking so much and start living, that becomes so simple, even if you don't even do anything, right? Like, you look at animals, you look at a cat, a dog. You ever notice how your pets, they're not caught up in this anxiety. They're not caught about, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? Did I do the right thing back then? They're not caught up in that. They're not caught up in thinking. They're just here, present, living, doing whatever feels right to them in the moment. And you realize how complex life has been made just by thinking. Because these thoughts, it's not actual reality. It's just an abstraction. People get caught up in anxiety and fear over thoughts, ideas, things that aren't even real. And I understand, because a lot of times these things are patterns from childhood, patterns from their past, patterns from whatever. But like, if you ever find yourself in that state of just flow, just being here, present with life, you realize like, oh, that's all an illusion, and it's an abstraction of reality. It's not really real in a sense. It's real because we can perceive it, but it's not real in the sense that it's manifest, right? So if you hear like the words of someone like taunting you, it's not because someone's actually taunting you. It's just words. It's just ideas, thoughts. It's not the real stimuli. It's not here happening. And I realized like, wow, like thoughts and words and beliefs, like I think these are all powerful, but at the same time, so like we gotta remember like, oh, I can just choose not to believe that thought. I can just choose not to think that or to feel that way, or I can just let that pass, right? I feel a negative or a sad emotion. Hey, I can cry. So what? It's gone. Boom. Move on next. I feel lighter. Perfect, right? And so I think it's not even about holding on to anything, holding on to thoughts or idea or the way people think about you or the way life has to be. It's really just about being the most natural thing, our natural state. Being, brother, being. Human being. You understand? It's in your nature. It's in your title, your name. Human being. So remind yourself today, not in words, but in action, in reality, in awareness. Go out, live. Just live, bro. Just live. It doesn't even matter if you're just sitting on the couch, brother. Just live. Be aware. Be present. You know what I'm saying? Go on a walk. Whatever you do that helps you feel like you're alive. Because remember, you're alive. I'm alive. We're here. Look at this. Flesh. I'm before this. I'm not this flesh. Hello. But I'm still aware. I'm still alive. This body's alive. I'm inhabiting it. But whatever I am. I'm aware. I'm alive. Remember that. Value it. It's beautiful. It's incredible. And cherish it. And I think that, you know, this is the root of kind of the point of why I started this channel. It's to remind people, yo, we living, we here, we present. You know, that's why I have my Patreon. Like, sure, it's great to receive that support from y'all, but really, I'm providing something for y'all. You know, that's why I offer these meditation courses. That's why I offer these trauma healing courses. It's why I do weekly guided meditations. Like, that is why I do it, because at the end of the day, like, I found so much value in reminding myself, hey, I am. Let me be here, experience. Not here in thoughts, but just here. I wish y'all a wonderful day. I hope to hear from you in the comments, and I'll catch you later. One love.